Hey, good afternoon. Riley Foster, Foster's Custom Steel. Hey, one project down. One big project to go. This thing turned out really great. Check out the blocking here on the ends to hold those 1x6s from raising up and making a mess later on, because heat will get to them. It gets very hot under that tin. But of course, I'm going to clean all this out real good. I'm going to take my tractor out of here. I got it under here right now. We're expecting thunderstorms. Got my lawnmower and stuff under here. But I'll block all that in and just put a few small vents to let air flow up under that rafters into the building. But all of that'll be blocked in. I'm going to have my buddy run me a set of LED lights down this center 2x4. I'm gonna have one or two receptacles out here to hook up a trickle charge for my lawnmowers and stuff like that I put back here. I'm also going to block that end in. That way I can have a shelf there, and it'll block the view from the highway when all the leaves are off the trees. I realize that's 50 yards away to the highway, but when there's no leaves on the trees, you can see right through here. But I'm going to tell you, it turned out really good. I'm going to turn around here in a second to show you this beam. This beam, two of them, I picked them up out of Hillsboro, Flint Fabrics in Hillsboro. They changed them into apartment complexes. They hired me back in the mid 90s or early 90s. It has been a pretty good time back. And they hired me to cut steel out of that building and remove a bunch of steam pipes, some stainless steel pipe, steel pipes, I-beams, you name it, from the rafters, because they, first of all, wasn't needed, and second of all, they wanted all of it out of there so they could make it apartment complexes. So I have had these two 20-foot long trolley beams. They were to move overhead bolts of cloth. And I'm going to tell you, that cloth was very heavy. I mean, it was the size of a car. And it run along a trolley track overhead to different machines. And there was a fabrics company. So I kept them all these years. I'm still using some of the steel out of there. But this is the last two of these big beams I had. I had one more and it got twisted, so I wanted to use these. Man, they come out so nice and straight. I mean, straight as a needle. So, also the 2x8s, really, really tough. Good strong pine 2x8s from the sawmill, and 1x6s. I painted all the ends of the rafters. I don't know if you can see that because of the skylight, but I painted all the ends of the rafters so no water moisture and stuff would get in them or rot them out anytime soon. Again, I'm going to have this side closed off just because I got a bunch of stuff to clean up. I'm going to gravel it here. And I have tools and stuff put in here, and that way you can't see those from the highway. But I'll tell you one thing, my tractor, riding lawnmower, and welder and all will fit in underneath here. I'm going to remove all that shelving, and a lot of that stuff does not need to be here. It was just stuff that I used over the years for artwork, and some of it, I just found a set of Honda gas tank emblems in there with the wings on them. Those things they're sought after because they're original tank medallions, and they're the ones that screw on instead of stick on, so really nice. But I'm going to climb up this ladder, and I'm going to show you why it's always good to use 1x6s, because when you're up there putting all these screws in, there's like 18 screws per sheet, and you're kind of bent over shooting screws into the tin. You can't always see a straight line. And if you use 1x6s, you don't have to worry about whether you hit your board or not underneath. So I didn't miss any, fortunately. That was really nice. I can't get up there with this step ladder, I don't believe. No, I'm not going to get up on there. Hold on one second. I'm going to show you this. Hold on one second. right now would be a good time to reach down there and hit that thumbs up and give me a comment or two. Hold on. All right. Now you can see what I'm talking about. If it wasn't for the 1x6s, if those were little 1x2s, I would have probably missed a couple of those screws. Again, when you're going across through there, you're bent over, looking down at that tin, trying to hit these screws, and you can't see the board that's behind you. That's why you use 1x6s, so you don't miss. So guys, I'm going to tell you, I am glad to get this project done. I can get all of my equipment put under here, nice and dry. And another thing, when you're doing, look at that beam straight as a needle. Yeah, so when you're doing these jobs by yourself, I had no one help me put that tin up there. That's 16 foot long, 2 foot wide, 29 gauge 5V10. So I had to do that. I had to put all these 2x8s up here by myself. It's a lot of ladder up and down. So there's tricks to it. One of them is keep me from having to do this. I don't know if you can see those numbers. Right there, what that does, it tells me the center of every one of those. Yeah, that tells me the center of every one of these. And that way I can look from down on this end, measure from the one previous, and I can know where to put all my tabs so my rafters will stay nice and straight. Now there are a couple of them that are twisted, but I tell you, that was because they sat under that cover. They were green when I got under that cover, and they tend to twist a little bit, but I took a lot of the twist out, and everything's nice and straight, square, level, and plumb. Like I said, that beam, man, those things are so nice, and they just look good. So there's a video on, well, us old guys that don't rest. There'll be plenty of time to rest when you're dead. So I got a little bit more work to do out back, but I'm going to get the lights. Robert Lamar, good friend of mine, he don't know it yet, but I'm going to call him and see if he'll hook me up some lights. He's an electrical engineer, so I assume he knows what he's talking about. So remember, guys, give me a thumbs up, ring that notification bell, all the good stuff that YouTube likes. It helps the algorithm and gets me up there at the top so people can find my videos. Some are helpful, some are not. I'm going to get back in the shop and start doing some more steel working videos and stuff. But always remember to give thanks and have a great day.